Hey, Pretty Girl Club, welcome back to the Creepy Articles series. So, some of the creepy articles were saying that one of the main talking points that people try to give is this talking point that exoticals are punching down on unambiguous black women. So, let's start off by looking up the definition of punching down because somebody can't punch down on you if they don't have more power than you. So, according to Unambiguous Women's Talking Points, they say things like they're the blueprint, they're the most desirable, everybody's trying to copy their features. So, how could you be punching down on someone that's not beneath you? I don't view unambiguous dark skinned black women as being beneath me, so there is no punching down. Not to mention the fact that as exoticals, clearly you don't know what an exotical is because exoticals are women who are black or mixed with black. The only thing is we are a different type of blackness. So we are the type of blackness that does not suffer from colorism, texturism, and featureism. So we may have dealt with one or two of those things, but not all three. So punching down is making fun of, criticizing, or attacking someone who has less power, privilege, or social status. So when did any of the exoticals say that unambiguous women have less power, privilege, or social status than us? Because last time I checked, it was unambiguous women themselves that were saying that talking point. It says that you're reinforcing another person's disadvantage. So what advantages do MLS women have that unambiguous women don't? Because this is their problem. A lot of times they go back and forth between I'm a black Nubian queen and I'm the blueprint, and then I'm a victim and I'm at the bottom. So it's like, okay, which one is it? Until unambiguous women can decide whether they're at the top or at the bottom, they can't accuse other people of punching down on them. Because they say all the time, preferences still get turned to baby mamas or they still get treated the same. Okay, so then that would mean that none of our privileges actually exist then. That means that we are not more privileged, and so therefore we can't be punching down. But then it says, it's often used in comedy, social commentary, or interpersonal dynamics to describe when someone in a position of greater influence, popularity, or safety targets someone more vulnerable or marginalized. So if they're accusing us of punching down, that means that they're admitting that they believe that the exoticals have greater influence and popularity than them, and that we are more safe than them. We have more safety than them, according to their own talking points. And then it even gives examples. It says a celebrity mocking a disabled person, a rich person making fun of someone who's poor, a man ridiculing women's experience in a dismissive or cruel way. And then it says a lighter-skinned person making fun of darker-skinned people using colorist stereotypes. So let's talk about this, a lighter-skinned person. What color is light skin? To the unambiguous black female YouTube community, what color is light skin? Because until you guys can even define what color light skinned is, you can't accuse any of the exotical channels of being light-skinned women talking down on darker people. Also, I thought that all of us were just bleachers and unambiguous dark-skinned women ourselves. Like, I thought that the argument was that I myself am dark-skinned, right? So what happened to that talking point? I thought all of us are dark-skinned and unambiguous and we look like regular women. You know, we look like everybody else. So then there would be no way to differentiate us. And also, using colorist stereotypes. What colorist stereotypes has the exotical space used? And if the exotical space is using colorist stereotypes, why are we still on YouTube? Because, you know, that goes against the actual terms of service. So you could easily just report a channel and the whole channel can be removed. So why is it that the exotical space has been able to exist for years without violating the terms of service if we are using colorist stereotypes? And I also heard from some of the creepy articles that people are saying, they only accept dark-skinned women as a part of their audience because they just want more numbers and subscribers, and the dark-skinned exoticals are just tokens. So once again, they have this mindset of light and dark-skinned women can't be genuine friends. We can't genuinely get along. We can't genuinely be united over here. We can't get along and have things in common. It must be that we're using dark-skinned women to be tokens and sidekicks. And also with the whole punching down argument, I admit on this channel, like all of us have acknowledged our privilege on this channel. Like a lot of unambiguous women, they spent years on YouTube telling us that we need to acknowledge our light skin privilege, acknowledge being mixed or whatever. And it's like, okay, so all we're doing is we're just doing what unambiguous women told us to do, which was to get out of their space, acknowledge that we have privilege, And so now suddenly, since we are acknowledging our privilege, I guess that is somehow punching down on somebody else. And it's like having a different opinion or creating a YouTube video that has a different perspective, that's not punching down. Just because someone disagrees with you doesn't mean they're punching down on you. And I think that some people, they are so entrenched in kind of this trauma or victim identity to the point where anything you do and say that challenges their internalized narrative, they're going to view you as some sort of colorist, texturist, featurist, or racist person. And it's like, how can you expect the Exoticals to have the same viewpoint as you when we don't even have the same phenotype or the same identity or the same experiences? So it's like this mindset of everybody needs to understand me, but I'm not going to work to understand them. And if you disagree with anything I say, you're racist. And with this whole concept, anytime someone uses that phrase, you're punching down, I don't really like that logic because it's like they can never describe examples of what to do and what not to do when it comes to punching down. They give this trigger phrase, punching down, because they want you to view them as the victim. Like, oh, you're just beating me up right now. You know, you're punching down on me. My self-esteem is on the ground because of the Exotical channels. And it's like, okay, so are we not allowed to make YouTube channels? Like, would it be better if our YouTube channels didn't exist? Like, what are you trying to say? Just admit you don't want anyone to have a different viewpoint than you. And you also need to admit that you view Exoticals as having more social power than you then. If you say that someone's punching down on you, that means that you admit that you think they're above you. And it's like, how do we decide who's up and down? That whole phrase, you're punching down on me, that's based on hierarchy thinking. So who decides who's up and who's down? That's my question. For those who say things like, oh, so-and-so is punching down on me. Okay, who's higher than you and then who's below you? Because anytime somebody says, oh, this YouTube channel or these people, they're punching down on black women, what they're saying is black women are at the bottom, they're the victims, they're the downtrodden ones. You know, they'll never make it to the same heights as a lighter skinned person or as a mixed person. And so any mixed or lighter skinned person who discusses their experience, it's punching down. And it's like, okay, so you're actually the one that's being racist then because you're admitting that you feel like blackness puts you at the bottom. You feel like blackness is something where it's easy to shit on blackness. That's what you're admitting. So you're the actual racist person. You're the actual anti-black person if you even think that it's possible for somebody to punch down on someone due to their blackness. Because you're basically saying that blackness or dark skin is a social handicap. It makes you disabled. And so, you know, making fun of a black person or challenging a black person's talking points, you can't do that. That's a social faux pas. And another thing, too, is like this whole mindset of everybody has to have the same morals. You're not being nice because you're making YouTube videos that challenge the stereotypes when it comes to colorism. And it's like, okay, I never said that I was coming on YouTube to be a nice person. This is not the Christianity Olympics. That's not how life works. That's not how society works. So a lot of people, they try to uphold you to a standard that they themselves can't even meet. And then they never keep the same energy with other people. So they'll say stuff about Exotical channels, but they have no smoke for actual white people. In fact, they're telling each other to go date them. And my next question is, why should anybody care whether or not you are offended? Like, why is it my job to manage other people's emotions? That's not why I'm creating content. You don't get to control my creativity. You don't get to control what YouTube videos I put out. So it's like, they want to control your creativity. They want you to like not speak because it could be offensive to them. And it's like, well, if other people don't care if I'm offended, why should I care if others are offended? Why is it that you can dish it out, but you can't take it back? Anyway, what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.